Good morning, everybody. My name is Eric Sandoval, and you're watching Breakfast with Bridgett on this November 30th, the last day of November and the last day of hurricane season. Aren't we just thrilled about that? Our producer, Kathleen, wanted to make sure that I mentioned that I am not Bridgett. Bridgett is obviously off today, and I am filling in for her. But we're glad you're waking up with us on this Thursday morning. It's a little cool outside, but not as cool as it's been. It was just downright frigid with the wind blowing yesterday morning. Let's bring in meteorologist Candace Campos to talk a little bit more about what we can expect over the next day. And you know what? I'm actually looking ahead to the weekend because those temperatures that you're predicting for Saturday and Sunday just look fantastic.
They're looking good, right, Eric?
Yeah.
We're back into the mid-80s, though, as we head into Saturday and Sunday. We'll be in the 70s, though, for today. Welcome to Breakfast with Bridgett.
Oh, thank you. Got my coffee. I already had my Red Bull, so I'm like amped. I'm ready to go.
I know. All of a sudden, he was on the desk, and all of a sudden, he was like, "Ooh, I feel the Red Bull coming in."
It's kicking in. I got wings.
Yeah. We first thought you wanted a bread bowl this morning. Didn't realize it was Red Bull.
I think I'm mumbling more lately. I've had a couple people say, enunciate your words a little bit more. So, yeah, I had a Red Bull, not a bread bowl.
It was also 5:30 in the morning, so
Then there's that.
I don't know how much more you can enunciate. All right, let's take it to the maps, give you an idea what's going on if you are running out the door in the next couple minutes. Now, temperatures for today, well, that's the 7-day. Hold on, give me a second. Downtown Orlando, we're at 51 degrees right now. The breeze from the north at about 6 miles per hour. Now, we are going to see a little more cloud cover today, which is why temperatures this morning didn't drop off as fast as they did the last couple of nights. Right now, we're at 42 in Ocala, 50 in Sanford, 58 there in Cocoa Beach, 49 in Kissimmee. Throughout the next couple of hours, we're going to continue to warm up, but we're starting about 1 to 12 degrees warmer this morning than yesterday. This is where we are heading, though. We're back into the mid-70s all across Central Florida. 72 will be our high in the Villages, 75 in Kissimmee, 76 for you guys there in Cocoa Beach. So as we take you here hour by hour, so you can kind of plan out your day on this Thursday, this Friday Eve. Temperatures will be about 74. We are back to normal, kind of a mix of sun and clouds, and we are going to add more cloud cover as we head into the next few days. And that's because our winds are going to start veering more out of the south. That pumps in a little more heat, a little more humidity, and that moisture will come in the way of cloud cover. And because of that, temperatures will also be jumping into those mid-80s like Eric loves. But here comes that front for those cool weather fans out there. That cold front, although will be slow to get here, it looks like it will be approaching the area more come Monday, and that will be cooling our temperatures off come Tuesday and Wednesday. So here come those roller coaster temperatures. We're going up. Today, we're up to the 70s for your Thursday, into the 80s for the weekend. Some areas by the middle part of next week after that front clears will be in the low 70s, possibly a few upper 60s in the forecast. So a very typical start to December. And as we get results here, the full 7-day forecast, don't forget with that we've got the lighting of the downtown Orlando Christmas tree on Friday night. The News 6 morning team will be there. Eric possibly will be there, but as a spectator, and we'll be in the mid-80s come Saturday and Sunday. There goes that cool down later on next week. So temperatures, though, Eric, by the time we head into 8 o'clock tomorrow, we'll be in the mid-60s. So not too hot, not too cold, just right.
And you know what? The tree lighting ceremony at Lake Eola is just fantastic. We're going to get to some more details on that in just a second. But, you know, I'm going to bring my dog. The whole family's going to be there, and you guys love that. You do it every year. It's just a great experience. Really the official ushering in of the holiday spirit. So I'm really looking forward to that.
You have the Rockefeller Christmas tree, and then right under it's Lake Eola.
Lake Eola looks fantastic this year, by the way.
Really
They've just
does.
really lit it up nicely. So
Yeah.
if you haven't gotten a
You've got
chance,
the palm trees next to the Christmas
and I like
tree.
that. I like the surf and
too.
Santas and everything. I just like the warm, mild temperatures here in Florida during the holidays. That's just me. I'm
Which is why we're here, right?
Exactly.
If
That's
you,
why I
you
stay
wanted
here.
the snow, get your butt up north.
Exactly. Candace, thank you so much. We'll see you later.
You're welcome.
All right. If you have been watching News 6 mornings this morning, you know that it has really been a horrific morning out on the roadways. You know, Trooper Steve Montiero has just been glued to the traffic cameras and to his alerts and his sources all morning long. The turnpike was just ugly this morning, Steve.
It still is.
Is it really? What's
Yeah,
it
it's
looking
still
like
a mess
now?
this morning. Well, unfortunately, Eric, we started with those northern crashes that really affected the southbound lanes up in like the Sumter, Lake County area as people were approaching 27. So that crash is still there. But then right when we ended the show, right in the metro area, we had another nasty crash come out on the turnpike. And I do have Max 3 uploaded, and we want to show you that right now. Sky 6 is actually over this. Eric, look at that. That is southbound turnpike entrance ramp to I-4. You're looking at an overturned semi. The trailer's already been
Oh,
detached from it. So that's the ramp, Eric, that everyone heads south for maybe the
yeah.
408, the west side, and then they connect east or westbound to I-4. No one can do that right now. So people
Oh,
are are literally traveling south further towards like the 528 or Sand Lake to exit. Just imagine the delays right now that are happening by like the Turkey Lake Service
oh,
Plaza.
yeah.
So then we also had the other crash that's still causing huge backups way north of 27. So southbound, what you're looking at here is open, but the crash is a few miles south from there, waiting for that digitalness to go away. So they've moved the overturned vehicle. Look at that truck, and the other car just tore up there on that right shoulder. So the good part
Man.
is, Eric, the lanes are open out there now, but the delays are huge. We're looking at probably a few miles, but the traffic is moving, which is a plus. I could still recommend that you exit at 470, cruise through 27, because your drive time is still high. 86 minutes from US 27 to Colonial, and it's pretty intense. Another minor crash out there at Town Center and John Young. But Eric, like we've been talking all morning, the turnpike is the only thing that's really causing some significant delays for us right now that I'm a little concerned about.
But I mean, the silver lining is those travel times are going down because at one point during the morning show, that was up to what, 116-minute delay?
I've been here with you guys 7 years now. I have never seen anything push over 90. So yeah, 116 minutes was the longest drive time. So silver lining, yes, it's going back down. But this is also a big one that I tell people. Some people appreciate it. The ones that live south or north of a crash is, look, because of these delays there, Metro Orlando and I-4 will not see the congestion that they normally in the morning around Molina, 528, because everyone's still stuck up on the north side.
They're
So
not all
same thing
there
like
yet.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yesterday we had that westbound crash up in I-4 in Volusia.
Hmm.
Lake Mary never saw any delays because everyone was stuck. So when one is bothered, the other one kind of helps out. But either way, it's not fun.
No, it's not. It gives me anxiety just thinking about the people who are trapped in their car next to the big rigs and just not able to get out. But
Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess.
that's a story for my therapist. All right, Trooper Steve, thank you so much. We'll see you
Yeah, have a
later.
good one.
All right, today, this is a story that we've been following at least for the last month
You
that we want
forgot
to
to
talk about
talk
now.
about my ride along.
Nicole Baldwin, she is a Lake County mother, and she just vanished. She just disappeared from her home. She left behind her cell phone. She left behind a lot of her Apple Watch, and her friends and community are just simply wanting answers. They want to find her. News 6's Ezzy Castro is in Lake County this morning, and she has the very latest on that search now.
Everything was left right here in this corner.
The daughter of Nicole Baldwin walking us through where her mother was last seen at her Mount Dora home. Baldwin has been missing for nearly a month, and there are still no answers as to where she is.
The fact that where we're standing right now is with her still missing and not even, no friends have heard from her, nothing, no family members, not even trying to reach out to me is very strange.
On Tuesday, crime scene investigators with Mount Dora police spent hours at Baldwin's home searching for clues, and they also went back to the home yesterday. They say Baldwin left behind her phone, her purse, and Apple Watch.
I have her phone right now. I do have her Apple Watch currently just because I'm wearing it because she always wore it. So it's I've been wearing this ever since I found out she was missing, honestly, just kind of like a thing of just holding on to her a little bit.
And that was News 6's Ezzy Castro at that. And just, I want to add this, there is a search party actually organized for this weekend to actually comb portions of Lake County looking for Nicole. We're going to put that information on our Facebook page. Just go to News 6's Facebook page and we'll put that up there, as well as clickorlando.com. We mentioned this a little bit just a few minutes ago, but I want to repeat it. It is November 30th today, the last day of November, but it is also the very last day of hurricane season. Candace Campos has just been so excited about that all morning long, but she also repeated, there has been history where we have had bad storms after hurricane season ends because Mother Nature doesn't necessarily have a calendar. You're looking here at the aftermath of Hurricane Idalia, though, this last year. This is the second year in a row that Florida's really been in the crosshairs of some major storms here. They're estimating the damages here in the billions of dollars. But, the silver lining on this is that emergency officials actually learned from the previous storms, from a year ago. So they were a little better equipped to deal with the Category 3 that Idalia was when it hit the Big Bend area of Florida earlier this year. Of course, a lot of the residents there are still picking up the pieces. Our thoughts are with them. And of course, the state of Florida continues to work with them. So we're going to break for 30 seconds here for just a quick short break. We'll be back on the other side of that. See you in a second. Well, welcome back. This is Breakfast with Bridgett. I'm not Bridgett. I'm Eric Sandoval, sitting in for Bridgett, who is off today. I want to talk about a guy in Brevard County. He says that he knew something was wrong when he got a solicitation in the mail saying that he could make some big money just by advertising on his car, basically wrapping his car with a huge advertisement. He got a big check with it. He said that was the thing that really set him up, that something may be amiss. News 6's James Sparvero actually spoke with him and some others related to this story, and he has this warning for us.
This is Ian McLean's car, and he tells us he got an email offering to pay him thousands of dollars if he agreed to have his car wrapped with a Dr. Pepper advertisement. Like you may be thinking already, Ian suspected that email was a scam.
But they gave a legitimate check, so it looked all real.
Ian showed us that check. And at the time he got this email, he says he was out of work, so the temptation of $4,700 made him at least read all these directions he was given. The letter reads it was from a Mr. Robert Marsh, the HR manager of Auto Wrap Campaign. And did you ever call this number they gave you?
I have not.
I did Wednesday. The number with the Louisiana area code didn't work. My phone read user busy.
To really believe that somebody's going to pay you to have something on a vehicle nowadays when there's so many other avenues of advertising.
Terry Griffith owns a car wrapping business in Melbourne. I showed him Ian's email to spot the red flags.
The fact that they're asking you check number, amount, name on check and all that, I would consider that a scam right off of the top.
If Ian would have followed the instructions on that letter, what could have happened to him?
From prior experience and things that I've heard in the past, they could empty out his bank account in some form of manner. Anytime they have any way of accessing your bank, your check number, the amount on the check, I've heard of some horror stories where people lose a lot of money. And the sad part is, most of the people who end up falling for these kind of scams don't even have the money in the bank to cover.
Ian now hoping to raise awareness in case somebody else is targeted next.
There are some people that, can be desperate for money, looking for a paycheck, and it can just end up, kind of screwing them in the back.
In Melbourne, Brevard County, I'm James Sparvero, Getting Results News 6.
It's a good warning, especially this time of year when a lot of people are looking to make a little bit of cash for the holidays. So don't wrap your car if you get a solicitation like that in the mail. We've got a major recall to tell you about this morning. Some Jeep Wrangler SUVs. Stellantis is announcing a huge recall involving at least 8 different Wranglers. Apparently, they're catching fire, and they're just sitting in the driveway. They're not even on at the time that they're catching fire. This recall involves a hybrid 4xe models from the 2021 to 2024 model years. The problem is so serious, evidently, that Stellantis is asking drivers not to charge their vehicles or or at least park them away from a building or another structure, just in case they catch fire. You don't want that fire spreading to a house or anything that's really important. And of course, contact your dealer for more information and some repair tips there. Okay, this is my favorite story of the morning, I think. The remains of a Lake County man who served in World War II. They were finally identified after more than 80 years. He was, he fought in World War II overseas. He was over in Germany when his plane was shot down. It has taken this long for his family to finally get results and get his identity confirmed. News 6's Emily McLeod has this story.
Your family was just notified of your mother's brother, your uncle's remains being identified after World War II. I mean, this is huge for your family.
Of course, it goes back to World War II, January of 1944.
After 80 years of waiting, Jeffrey Huster's uncle, United States Army Air Force Staff Sergeant Franklin P. Hall's remains were identified this past July. Hall was a waist gunner on board a B-24D Liberator when it was attacked by German air forces during World War II.
And one of the more remarkable items here is, and the Army was very impressed with this, was the actual Western Union, telegraphs notifying my mother of his crash and his being missing in action. And it got more and more and more important too. It's not just a little bit of history coming around, it's a repatriation of a veteran.
Hester tells us back in 2017, the Army reached out to him and his brother for DNA samples.
What was your reaction when you got that phone call? Did you think anything would come of it?
Well, I knew science was pretty good, pretty strong. So I didn't doubt it.
Did you immediately think of your uncle?
Yeah, I did. A guy I didn't even know. Yeah. Trying to stay focused is somewhat overwhelming. Because you really think about your mother never knew, and it's wow. So here we go. Just want to go over there and shake my mom's gravestone and tell her. That would be the great part. And my wife was really into it too, and she passed. And that's two great workers I got to shake. But it's good. It's a good story.
It is.
Full circle. And also, I think if it's right, the January 21st burial will be 80 years on the dot to when his plane went down.
But now there's community support, a full military burial, a hero's ride. I mean, tell me, how does that feel 80 years later?
Like people really care. Simply put.
And I think a lot of people do care. I was just really sucked into that story that Emily did with him. Gosh, he just has so much emotion. And like he said, he didn't even know his uncle. And for his family to have that kind of relief, it's just really, really heartwarming. And I'm really glad he got some results there. Okay, on to some more uplifting news. Again, we were talking about the Christmas tree lighting at Lake Eola. It is set for tomorrow night. The cold weather is just basically broken. So it's going to be a really nice, mild night, according to Candace Campos. But, you know, I actually live downtown, so I get to look at all the beautiful lights. Look at that. They really did they do a good job every year. But this year, they really pulled out all the stops. The Santa hat was new. Excuse me, all the trees around Lake Eola are lit up this year, and it makes for a wonderful night-side walk around the lake. Tomorrow's Christmas tree lighting, the whole morning show crew is going to be counting down to light the big tree at Lake Eola. Musical performances start at 5:30. The official tree lighting there is set for 8 o'clock. If you cannot make it, we will be streaming it on clickorlando.com. And just in case you're wondering, the tree stands 64 feet tall and features 88,000 animated lights. Wouldn't you like to be the worker to find out which bulb is causing the outage among those 88,000 animated lights if that ever happens? I wouldn't be. Again, I'm Eric Sandoval, sitting in for Bridgett Ellison, who is off. We thank you so much for joining us on this edition of Breakfast with Bridgett. Our next newscast is at noon today, and of course, we break news whenever it happens on clickorlando.com. Thank you so much for waking up with us this morning. Good to see you. We'll see you later.